Have you ever experienced that mysterious itch that makes you wonder what your body is trying to tell you? As we age, our bodies communicate through subtle signals, aches, fatigue, and yes, even persistent itchiness. While most people dismiss an itch as just dry skin or a temporary irritation, the truth is far more serious. Where that itch occurs on your body might be revealing life-threatening conditions that could be silently shortening your lifespan. That's right. Something as simple as a persistent itch in specific locations could be your body waving a desperate red flag, urgently warning you that it's time to pay attention before it's too late. In this video, we're going to uncover 5 specific areas on the body where chronic itchiness in older adults could be signaling serious underlying health problems. These aren't myths or old wives' tales. They're based on documented patterns observed by medical professionals and researchers who specialize in aging and longevity science. Each of these itchy spots tells a unique story about your blood circulation, organ function, nervous system, immune response, and nutritional status. By the time we reach the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to recognize these warning signs and what critical steps to take to address them before they progress further. So don't ignore that itch. Stay with us until the end, because understanding what your body is desperately trying to tell you might not only add years to your life, but help you enjoy those years with greater strength, mental clarity, and peace of mind. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time to do that, and turn on the bell so you don't miss any of our potentially life-saving videos. Let's begin. 1. Persistent itchiness on the lower legs. One of the most overlooked yet revealing signs that something serious may be happening inside your body is a constant itch on the lower legs. Most people write it off as dry skin or normal aging. But when this area becomes noticeably itchy without any visible rash or irritation, you need to pay close attention. Medical research has shown that older adults who frequently scratch their calves, shins, or ankles may actually be experiencing compromised circulation, specifically a condition known as peripheral artery disease. This means the blood isn't flowing freely through the small vessels in your lower limbs, and that restricted circulation can cause the skin to become unusually dry, hypersensitive, and persistently itchy. Consider 2 seniors, Richard and Thomas, both in their late 70s. Richard maintains daily short walks around his neighborhood, regularly checks his legs and feet, and hasn't noticed anything unusual. Thomas, however, has become increasingly sedentary, feels tired more often, sits for extended periods, and has started noticing a persistent itch developing on his legs, particularly at night or after sitting for long stretches. Thomas applies various moisturizers thinking it's just normal dryness, but finds little relief. What Thomas doesn't realize is that this itching is his body's desperate attempt to signal that blood isn't reaching his lower extremities efficiently anymore. When legs don't receive proper circulation, not only does the skin become problematically dry, but the muscles and tissues progressively weaken, placing additional strain on the heart, veins, and entire cardiovascular system. Poor circulation has been directly linked to significantly higher risks of heart attacks, strokes, and even cognitive decline. Many don't realize that legs function as a second heart, playing a crucial role in pumping blood back upward through the body. When they struggle, your entire system suffers the consequences. The encouraging news is that this type of itchiness can often be improved and sometimes completely reversed if detected early enough. Movement is powerful medicine. Gentle leg exercises, regular brief walks, and elevating your feet when sitting can significantly improve blood flow. Staying properly hydrated, wearing appropriate compression socks, and reducing sodium intake can also make a remarkable difference. If you've been experiencing an unexplained itch in your lower legs that persists regardless of treatments, especially without any visible rash or allergy, don't ignore it. Your body might be desperately trying to get your attention in the only way it knows how. 2. Unexplained itching on the upper or mid-back. An itch in the middle of your back can be frustratingly difficult to reach. But what if it's actually trying to reach you with a critical message about your health? Many seniors experience persistent itchiness across their upper or mid-back regions. And while it's tempting to blame it on dry skin or irritating clothing tags, This particular type of itch often indicates something far more serious happening internally. In fact, one of the lesser-known but potentially deadly causes of upper back itchiness is dysfunction in the liver or kidneys, two vital organs responsible for filtering toxins from the bloodstream and maintaining your body's internal balance. When these critical organs begin struggling, waste products accumulate in the bloodstream, irritating the skin and triggering intense itching, especially in areas like the back where nerve endings are highly concentrated. Consider the experiences of Margaret and Catherine, both 75 years old. Margaret maintains regular medical checkups, drinks plenty of water daily, and has always enjoyed healthy skin. Catherine, however, has recently been experiencing unusual fatigue, noticed slight swelling around her ankles, and has begun scratching her back with increasing frequency, particularly during nighttime hours. She's tried changing laundry detergents and applying various moisturizers, but the maddening itch persists. What Catherine doesn't understand is that this relentless itching could be her body's urgent warning that her kidneys are under significant strain or her liver isn't processing toxins effectively anymore. When these vital organs begin functioning below optimal levels, the effects cascade throughout the entire body, impacting everything from digestive processes and sleep quality to energy levels and cognitive function. Itchy skin triggered by liver or kidney dysfunction typically persists regardless of typical remedies, often appears without any visible rash, and frequently intensifies at night, making restful sleep nearly impossible and further depleting your energy reserves. While many dismiss this connection, medical research has documented clear links between this type of chronic itching and shortened lifespan in older adults. Not because the itching itself is dangerous, but because of what it represents. Progressive internal dysfunction that could be silently worsening. This isn't cause for panic, but rather a powerful reason to investigate further. Simple blood tests can often reveal how effectively your liver and kidneys are functioning. Staying adequately hydrated, consuming minimally processed foods, reducing alcohol consumption, and monitoring sodium intake can significantly reduce stress on these vital organs. If you're currently taking multiple medications, consulting with your healthcare provider about their cumulative impact on your liver and kidneys could prove life-saving. The next time your back begins itching without obvious explanation, pause and consider what your body might be trying to communicate. Your skin is often the first place internal distress becomes visible externally. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. Now let's continue. 3. Frequent itching on the scalp or neck. When older adults begin experiencing persistent itchiness on the scalp or back of the neck, it's typically dismissed as something insignificant, perhaps dry skin, a reaction to hair products, or simply another inconvenient aspect of aging. However, emerging research suggests something far more significant could be occurring beneath the surface. For many seniors, this specific type of itching isn't merely skin deep. It's intimately connected to chronic stress, systemic inflammation, and in some cases, concerning changes in the nervous system that can impact both physical resilience and cognitive function. The nerve networks surrounding the scalp and neck are extraordinarily sensitive and often react first when the body experiences strain, particularly emotional or neurological stress that accumulates gradually over extended periods. Consider Thomas and Edward, both in their late 70s. Thomas maintains active social connections, spends time outdoors gardening, and practices simple meditation techniques each evening. He's always maintained a relatively calm demeanor through life's challenges. Edward, conversely, has struggled with the transition into retirement. He experiences restlessness at night, spends increasing time isolated indoors, and has been silently carrying significant stress without fully recognizing its impact. Over recent months, Edward began scratching his head with increasing frequency, initially just during evening hours, but eventually throughout the entire day. Despite no visible rash, flaking, or clear explanation, the itching persisted relentlessly. He tried numerous shampoos and even purchased new pillowcases, but nothing provided relief. What Edward didn't realize is that this persistent itching likely represented a physical manifestation of emotional tension and nervous system fatigue. As we age, our stress response mechanisms become less efficient. Instead of returning to baseline after momentary worry, the body tends to remain in a low-grade state of alert, maintaining elevated cortisol levels and suppressed immune function. This chronic tension often manifests in the most sensitive nerve clusters. On the scalp and posterior neck region, chronic itching in these specific areas has also been connected to conditions like peripheral neuropathy and even early indicators of cognitive decline. This doesn't necessarily indicate serious pathology in every case, but it absolutely suggests these symptoms should never be casually dismissed. The positive news is that there are effective approaches to calming the nervous system and alleviating this type of itching. Simple breathing techniques, increased time in natural settings, reconnecting with supportive friends, or even brief journaling before sleep can help regulate the body's stress responses. In Edward's situation, when he began implementing modest lifestyle changes, morning walks outdoors, limiting news consumption after dinner, and weekly phone conversations with his brother, he noticed the itching gradually diminished as tension released from his body and his thoughts began settling. If you've been dealing with unexplained itchiness on your head or neck that doesn't respond to typical treatments, and you've ruled out common skin conditions or allergies, it's worth examining more deeply. Consider honestly how you've been feeling lately, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally as well. Your body doesn't simply react to external factors. It responds profoundly to your internal emotional landscape. Sometimes that persistent itch represents your nervous system's attempt to signal that you need to prioritize inner peace and balance. 4. Ongoing itching around the chest or abdomen. When people contemplate warning signs of declining health, they typically envision symptoms like shortness of breath, dizziness, or memory lapses. However, the skin across your chest and abdominal region, yes, the central front area of your body, can silently communicate volumes about internal health, especially when it develops persistent itchiness without obvious cause. Older adults who frequently experience itchiness across their torso, particularly around the chest or abdominal area, may be facing far more than a minor skin irritation. This specific type of itching often serves as an early warning sign for nutritional deficiencies or malabsorption issues, both of which can silently undermine your body's strength, immune defenses, and cellular repair capabilities. Consider the contrasting experiences of Elizabeth and Barbara, both 82 years old. Elizabeth still enjoys preparing balanced meals for herself, creating colorful plates with various fruits, leafy greens, and appropriate protein sources. Though her appetite has naturally decreased with age, she ensures her nutrition remains diverse and adequate. Barbara, however, has gradually lost interest in food preparation over the past year. She frequently skips meals, relies increasingly on simple crackers or processed soups, and feels satisfied after minimal intake. Alongside these dietary changes, Barbara began noticing that her chest and abdominal regions itched with increasing frequency, particularly during evening hours, and occasionally felt unusually dry or tender. She assumed it was merely sensitive skin and experimented with different body cleansers, but the itching continued unabated. What Barbara didn't recognize is that as we age, our digestive system often becomes less efficient at absorbing crucial nutrients, particularly vitamins like B12, essential fatty acids, and trace minerals including zinc and magnesium. When the body cannot access sufficient quantities of these vital nutrients, the skin begins drying out, nerve signals become erratic, and immune function deteriorates. Consequently, areas like the torso, dense with nerve endings and blood vessels, become hypersensitive, irritated, and persistently itchy. More critically, these internal nutritional deficiencies silently impact muscle strength, energy production, and even the brain's ability to maintain optimal function. Perhaps the most dangerous aspect of malnutrition in seniors is that it often remains hidden behind relatively normal body weight. You might not be losing significant pounds, but your body could still be desperately lacking the essential nutrients required for proper maintenance and function. That's precisely why persistent itchiness across the central body region represents more than a mere annoyance. It potentially signals that your body's operating systems are running critically low on the fundamental resources needed to maintain health and longevity. The encouraging aspect is that among all the issues we've discussed, this one might be the most readily addressable. Improving nutritional status doesn't necessarily require complex dietary overhauls. Simple additions like a handful of nutrient-dense nuts, protein-rich eggs, antioxidant-packed berries, or even a high-quality comprehensive multivitamin can produce remarkable improvements over time. If you've been experiencing unexplained itchiness across your chest or abdominal region and your eating habits have declined, consider this nature's gentle reminder to prioritize proper nourishment, not just for immediate comfort, but for your long-term vitality and independence. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're engaged. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I strongly encourage you to subscribe and activate the bell so you never miss our potentially life-changing health information. Your support enables us to continue creating meaningful content designed to inform and empower you. Now let's explore our final critical location. 5. Intense itching between the fingers and toes. While many dismiss itchiness between fingers and toes as simple athlete's foot or dry skin, for individuals over 60, this specific location of persistent itching could indicate serious systemic issues that many medical professionals often overlook during routine examinations. This frequently ignored symptom deserves careful attention because it may reveal critical information about your circulatory health, immune function, and even metabolic status. The thin skin between fingers and toes contains dense networks of tiny blood vessels and nerve endings that make these areas particularly sensitive to changes happening throughout your body. When these interdigital spaces develop persistent itchiness without obvious rash or fungal infection, it might indicate microvascular complications, particularly for individuals with conditions like diabetes or autoimmune disorders that affect the smallest blood vessels in your extremities. Consider James and William, both 73-year-old retirees. James maintains consistent medical care, monitors his blood sugar regularly, and participates in water aerobics 3 times weekly. William, however, has been less diligent about health screenings, eats irregularly, and has noticed increasing thirst alongside persistent itchiness between his toes and fingers that intensifies at night. He's tried numerous antifungal treatments with limited success. What William doesn't realize is that this persistent interdigital itching could actually be an early warning sign of diabetic neuropathy or microvascular damage, where elevated blood sugar levels begin harming the delicate nerve endings and tiny blood vessels in extremities. This early damage often manifests as itching sensations before more serious symptoms develop. Research from geriatric specialists suggests that for seniors, interdigital itching that doesn't respond to typical treatments deserves thorough investigation, as it's been associated with several serious health conditions, including undiagnosed diabetes, peripheral neuropathy, and even certain autoimmune disorders. Most concerning, when these early warning signs are ignored, the underlying conditions can progress silently, potentially leading to more serious complications including tissue damage, mobility limitations, and cognitive effects. The positive aspect is that when detected early, many of these underlying conditions respond well to proper management. Regular monitoring of blood glucose levels, maintaining proper hydration, specific stretching exercises for hands and feet, and appropriate supplements like alpha-lipoic acid after consulting your healthcare provider may help address these symptoms and potentially slow progression of the underlying issues. If you've noticed persistent itching between your fingers or toes that doesn't respond to typical treatments, consider scheduling a comprehensive evaluation with your healthcare provider, including specific blood tests that can detect metabolic imbalances and early signs of neuropathy. This simple step could potentially preserve your independence and quality of life for years to come. Final thoughts. Now that you've learned about these 5 specific body locations where persistent itching might be signaling deeper health concerns, take a moment to reflect. Have you experienced any of these warning signs recently? A seemingly insignificant itch might appear trivial, but as we've discovered, each location can potentially reveal critical information about your health status, from circulatory issues in the legs to possible liver or kidney strain, from nervous system stress manifesting on the scalp, to nutritional deficiencies across the torso, and even early metabolic warnings between the fingers and toes. Your body communicates constantly, not through loud alarms, but through subtle whispers that often manifest through skin sensations. The vital takeaway is that none of these warning signs automatically determine your health destiny. Rather, each offers a valuable opportunity to investigate, address underlying issues, and potentially reverse concerning trends before they progress to more serious stages. You can incorporate more movement into your daily routine, improve your nutritional choices, develop better stress management techniques, increase your hydration, and reconnect with activities and people that bring you joy. If any of these signals resonated with your experience, don't ignore them. Start with one small positive change today. And if you haven't noticed any of these warning signs, that's wonderful news. But now you're equipped with knowledge that could prove invaluable for yourself or someone you care about. Because ultimately, the goal isn't simply extending lifespan, it's enhancing your quality of life, maintaining independence, and experiencing each day with clarity and purpose. Paying attention to your body's early signals, even those that merely itch, represents one of the most intelligent approaches to achieving these goals. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Please leave a comment below sharing one insight you gained from this video and how you plan to apply it in your daily life. Your experiences and reflections matter tremendously to our community. If you found this information helpful, please like, subscribe, and share with others who might benefit. Your support enables us to continue creating valuable content designed to inform and inspire. We appreciate your time and look forward to seeing you in our next video.